Basically, this was my physical address, was a Hyundai Sonata. Basically, this was my go-to. This was, like I said, this was my mailing address. I was completely homeless, completely hopeless, and I was sitting in this vehicle, completely hopeless state of mind and body. And this was it right here. This was basically how I was going to take myself out. I totally felt judged. I couldn't look at anybody in the eye because I believe that was the guilt and the shame. It was just hard to fit in. It was hard to fit into the community. I did not have any purpose.
My name is Leanna Parr, and I'm Community Action's Recovery Navigator Program Coordinator. And primarily what the Recovery Navigator Program does is it aims to assist people with goals they've already set for themselves in the community. More specifically, we prioritize people from the unhoused community, and they're usually facing a lot of different complex behavioral health needs. So what our program does is they help people to be able to navigate systems that they are having a lot of barriers in navigating on their own.
Entering community action through the front door, where as soon as I walked through that front door, I felt this energy where there was share and care. It felt like that they put themselves in my shoes. They greeted me like they greeted me like I was a person, that they seen where I was at, and they accepted me for who I was.
What actually brought me into wanting to work in human services was, and specifically in this demographic for community action, so specifically marginalized people who are living unsheltered, is because I have lived experience of being unsheltered. My lived experience of being unsheltered really opened my eyes to the way that people are treated when they're living on the streets. I was often treated like a second-class citizen.
The journey I spent with community action was side by side. They were side by side. They backed me up. The resources that they had there, the resource broker, they provided me with everything that I needed as far as trying to survive out in this valley without running. I didn't have to run no more.
Recovery Navigator's a little bit different than regular street outreach in that street outreach is looking for just groups of people who are kind of congregated, and I've done that type of outreach too. But with Recovery Navigator program, I have a caseload of people that I see regularly. So I'm actually going to their location that I already know to be a place they spend time.
The opportunity that Community Action gave me was they gave me the opportunity to start paying this thing forward. Got to get out there in the community. I got to work with the homelessness. I got to work with the elderly, and there was nothing more important to me was to be able to pay this thing back, to keep paying it forward.
So I try to get at the root of what's going on, what's going well, what's not going well. What are you wanting to change? Are there things in your life that could be better? If so, what are those things? Do you have goals that you've been trying to achieve that you would really like some support to do? Those answers to those questions, that's where I start to work on goals with people, is that people already have goals.
At this present moment, I'm working at the Recovery Cafe. It has been a blessing to be able to pay this back to the community, pay this forward, to be able to have connection with the still missing, to be able to cultivate compassion, to live reflectively, to live by the Recovery Cafe principles. And I just, I take this one day at a time. Nothing makes me more happier than to be helping people where they're at, to put myself in their shoes. My path going forward is to stay in this valley. I've landed. The spiritual awakenings, the spiritual experiences I've had in this valley, I can keep paying it forward. I can share compassion, share and care, and it means so much to me.
My favorite day is the day when someone has decided that they want to take their life back and that they're going to manifest goals to do that. Recovery is different for each person, and it's a different path for each person. When someone has finally decided that they want to be on a path of recovery, I love being able to be there for them in choosing their path and supporting their chosen path.